hard to believe that it's Thanksgiving time again already. I think Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday. It means family and friends and quality time spent with them. When I was growing up, we always spent Thanksgiving with my mom's sister. My aunt and uncle had a farm near LaSalle, Peru, and we would trade off. One year we would be at my house in the Chicago area, and the next year we'd be at my aunt and uncle's. And it was great to be with my cousins, and we would just spend the day hanging out and eating a lot. And that has continued now that the older generation is gone, and I'm part of the older generation. We always get together with my sister and family, and sometimes my brother's able to make it. His family is spread out around the country, so he doesn't make it every year, but my sister and I always get together in the same tradition that my mom and her sister got together.
Sounds very similar, just different states. Growing up, we too would get together with the family and always eat much more than we should. We would go back and forth between relatives. It didn't really start for our family, at least my wife and I, Vicki, until kids started coming along. At that point, we would go to her parents for her parents for Christmas. So it was always my parents for Thanksgiving. And it would be us, it would be my younger sister Sarah, her family. It was all about the F's. It was all about the food, it was all about the family. And then after eating, it was always about the football, watching. We'd get together watching. The guys would pretend to watch the football game, but eventually they'd all be sleeping while the women were all, bless her heart, working really hard. And then we carried on to the next day. Tradition was typically Vicki and the other women would go out and do their shopping on the Friday. But my brother-in-law and I, we would take the kids to a movie. So we did that for many years for that Friday on Thanksgiving.
And it's always a time to think about what we're thankful for. And I have a lot in my life to be thankful for. My family. I have so many wonderful friends. And of course, Asbury, my church family for the last 25 years. It's hard to even think where to begin. They've welcomed me from day one and continue to grow. I've welcomed my children. I have two special needs children, and they've always been welcomed here at Asbury. Fortunately, we lost Paul 4 years ago, and that was a sad time in our lives, but again, my Wings Bible study group helped me to get my life more centered around God. I started out teaching Sunday school many years ago when we first joined Asbury, and I taught first grade Sunday school for a long time. And then when the boys got a little bit older, I decided it was time for me to learn the Bible stories at a little bit different level. And I joined the Adventures in Faith group. And that was a great group. And I got to learn the Bible stories at the adult level. So I'm very thankful for all of our Bible study groups that we have here at Asbury. I'm very involved with the Wings and group, and I am one of the facilitators of that. And we are a great little small group, very encouraging. And it's just been a wonderful, wonderful church home.
I would agree. We first attended Asbury in 1987. We moved here from Minnesota. It was in Minnesota where I grew up Catholic. Vicki grew up with a couple denominations, but primarily Baptist. And she was really the driving force to attend church. And she goes, "We're not going Catholic." And I didn't really want to do the Baptist, so in some ways, Methodist was our compromise. So we started attending a Methodist church up in Worthington, Minnesota. So when we moved here in the middle of winter, we knew nobody in the Quad Cities. So we did as other people. We attended a few churches. We came to Asbury. And when the kids came along, this was their church home. This is where they were baptized. This is where they had Sunday school. This is where they were confirmed. And Heather, this is where she was married. So this is very dear to their hearts as well. You had mentioned the Sunday school. Vicki, she taught 3-year-olds for about 18 years.
She taught all three of my boys.
So I've got a long ways to go helping out with the Agape class to come close to what she did and influencing those young kids for that many years. I'm really excited for the discipleship pathway that the discipleship group is working on. Just starting with the basics, what is a disciple? What is discipleship? What's that pathway look like? I think that could be a great foundation for going forward for the whole congregation to become more disciples and move along wherever they are in their pathway with Christ, move forward in that relationship.
I agree. And I definitely agree that we need to be grateful and thankful every day for the small things. And again, building and being grateful for the bigger things. 5 years from now, I look back today, I think we'll be thankful that we have a strong church here at Asbury. And we are moving forward. It's been difficult coming out of COVID. A lot of things have changed. And we are moving forward with those changes and not just getting stuck where we were. And I just think that there's going to be a lot of great things happening.
And with a relationship with Christ, sometimes you don't have to worry about some of the small things. It just brings you that peace that there's so much noise that may really seem like it's so important right now, but really it isn't. It's just that peace and knowing that you have a relationship with Christ.
Happy Thanksgiving, Asbury family.